Planko fans, this is Jasmine.
And I'm Michael.
And you're watching M&J Games. Today we're doing a park tour of Fairytale Land by Chrissy SUK86. This is Iron Maddie's lovely wife. This is her first sandbox creation. And in her description she says, take a trip through Fantasyland. See the good fairies and mythological beasts fighting the witches who are killing the land.
All right, so as you can kind of see, it's looks like a good medium-sized park to kind of begin as a first creation. And so as we kind of see, it's very obviously fairy tale themed. Everything's castles and stuff like that. So what are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, this looks really great. I have not done a fairy tale sort of park, but this looks really cool, so I'm really excited to see everything that she's done.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to see other people make them, and I'm kind of with you. I haven't really done a fairy tale or medieval style just because when I'm building it, I don't find it interesting with me building it, but I really like seeing what other creators are able to do with it. And so I'm really excited to go look at this. So let's go down to the entrance, which I believe is right here. And so there's where the guests are coming in at. They're all, let's see.
Uh-oh.
Well, I was trying to come through the entrance.
Yeah.
There we go. Sometimes the controls in this game don't want to work out, right? There we go. So, now right when you come to the park, you see this little bit of this coaster right here. So I'm trying to get there we go. All right. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like it. There's definitely a lot going on, so this is just a lot of things to look at.
Yeah, so here's the big question. Should we go left or should we go right?
Let's go left.
Okay. It's funny. That's whatever you want. It seems like everybody always goes left first, but it's just like the natural reaction, I guess. So right away we see that there's Fairy Town. And so I like the signage that you created and this little walkway to kind of get into this little area, which seems like it's very packed.
So this is a queue?
Oh, this is a queue line. Now that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was wondering why the path was so narrow, but it makes sense that this is a queue line for this train.
Okay.
Oh, that's creative right there because I
wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, really, really well done. Props on that because I was just thinking it was area of a town. So as you can see, we've got this castle in the distance too, and we've got a nice coaster that we'll eventually get to. Yeah, so this is a train, and at the end, if we don't ride the train around, we can still kind of go on the train tracks and kind of see what the views look like. So help remind me of that.
Okay.
So now railroad crossing, that's a really good touch.
Yeah.
And then also using the curbs as kind of the, what's that called? Whatever it is that goes down and...
Like the railroad guard.
Yeah, railroad guard. I don't know why I was forgetting the word of that. So now we're in a new place.
Pixie's Palace.
Mm-hmm. So what's your thoughts so far on all this and what you've seen? Oh, I love that right there, the coaster.
Yeah, that looks cool. And I know that Chrissy, she has her own YouTube channel, and she's been uploading progress on this park. So I think her first episode was building this, or showing this red coaster that she had built. So yeah, I'm familiar with this, and I thought it was really cool because she kind of has it going in and out of this little castle building.
Yeah, for sure.
And it seems like it's like really like concise, and it just takes that and compact. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely like it. It's not an overly large coaster, so it's one that people of all ages could, in theory, ride. And I like how it kind of welcomes you into the park. So there's a couple, some people like having kind of the big coasters that you kind of see, but then there's also ones that are very welcoming where it has a lot of interaction and it looks like a fun ride.
Yeah.
So now as you've got this little food area over here, and you really like doing stuff like this, I'm sure you love this little area. Kind of having this little food area just kind of sectioned off. What is going on right there? Is that a mascot?
Well, she said this was like the little Jester's Court area because there's lots of jesters like that walking around.
Okay.
With their ponies.
Yeah, I guess that's animatronic.
Yeah.
So, just at first, I was like, what in the world? But yeah, very well done. Yeah, I think you said it too. I haven't really used too much of these Fairytale building pieces, but you really made it work well. Alright, so it looks like we've got this red coaster. And I like how you've outlined the queue line with these building pieces. And then your hubby would be proud with the terrain paint that you've used in these areas. Because I think one of his favorite things to do is terrain paint.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so what do you think about this queue area?
I like it. So this is for the red coaster, right?
Yeah, this is for we'll see what the name of it is in a second. So I can't remember. I know we saw it before. Just can't remember the name of it. And honestly, I like this queue. It's open, but it's covered where you're kind of waiting in line, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of a really good job.
Titania.
All right, so let's wait for the ride to get done. While we're waiting for the ride to get done, let's look at these stats. So max speed, everything's green, which is great. 41 miles per hour, biggest drop 16 meters, so right around 50 feet. Lateral G's are maybe a little bit higher, but everything looks good. So now let's go ahead and ride, or what kind of coaster is this again? Let's see.
The looping.
The American Era, yeah. Yeah, let's ride, let's do seat view on this. And hope you guys enjoy the ride.
What are your thoughts?
I thought it was pretty good. Especially for one of your first coasters being built. I think smoothing a little bit in a couple areas, but I like the layout of it because, like we said before, it's not large. Like, it's not a big coaster.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a lot of little airtime moments in it. So you did a good job of kind of designing it to have a lot of little hills, like right there. You've got a couple here near the end. And I liked how, not just going through the little castle, but then you also kind of go through or around these Fairytale houses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you characterize this as a kiddie coaster, or what would you say this was?
I mean, I'd say it's an intermediate. Like, it's not necessarily a kiddie coaster because kiddie coasters don't really have drops like that.
That's true.
And so I would think this is one where it's like, when a kid elevates from riding the kiddie coaster, they kind of ride this one. Or, just kind of those. It's more of a family. A little.
Yeah, I would think it is more of a family one, but yeah, it's not quite a kiddie coaster.
Yeah, and now, but yeah, I really enjoyed it, so it was good.
Yeah.
And honestly too, with how this is built, I said smoothing in a couple areas, but honestly, these aero coasters in real life, like, they're not smooth. So this is really good. I love this first drop too. Like, that really got a good amount of speed for it not being that large.
Yeah.
And yeah, really, really good job. So now let's go back to this area. Yes? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, what's on the right? Like, what's this over here?
So this is...
something Mayhem. Medieval Mayhem.
I think this was the River Rapids ride. Once again, we've got... And this is interesting, building a castle out of the sandstone pieces. So I've never thought of doing that before.
Honestly, I don't like that castle brick in the game. It's like, to me, it looks more like a graveyard type of brick.
Can agree with that.
Versus the actual, like, crypt or whatever graveyard brick. Anyway, but I really like the sandstone.
I love the ceiling here, and this is a really nice station. You got the little windows. It's got a nice touch to it. So let's actually ride this one in bumper view, just because I want to make sure that we can kind of look around and see the surrounding areas. I want to make sure we're...
Yeah, I'm not sure which one. Which one?
Let's just go back to the first one, because I know that one's about to leave the station.
Okay.
So. At least this way, if you're front bumper, you don't spin with it, so you can just kind of get the visual of the ride that's created. And so this is one of her, she's on a couple of her videos, was her making this ride, and so I think she did a very good job with it.
Well, and I think she did a good job making it look like a river.
Yeah, for sure.
Because sometimes making these, it's like, I don't know, like, these are definitely not my favorite thing to make in the game, so I think she did a good job with this.
Yeah, well, and definitely because when you're making this, like, you just really got a theme around it, right? And it's almost like she made it like a moat kind of going around the castle. As like protection, you know? So it's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So good sight lines. Like this windmill. Yeah, really good with the terrain paint too. Looks like you mixed in a fair amount of different terrains or terrain paint tools. Well, that had some speed on it.
Yeah, I thought maybe you would sped it up, but I guess you didn't.
I guess part of that is the lift hill is probably sped up a lot. Alright, so we're back here. Yeah, and that was really good. Only thing I'd suggest is I'd slow down the lift hill a little bit.
Yeah, it almost seemed like it was too fast.
Just because I think it's a little too fast on that drop. And so, I mean, ultimately, these are not about trying to get everything in green. Like, you're never going to get all of these in green. Just because they're not, the excitement's not going to be there with the river rapids. So I would just slow this down to where it doesn't take this way, like, too fast.
I didn't even know you could adjust the speed on these. Or I guess I've never tried to, but...
Let's check and see. I don't know if you can. I know you can on coasters, so I want to... I just want to test and see if we can, because I don't want to say to do something that you can't actually do. So yeah, you can do chain speed. So like it's kind of like with coasters. Like
I never knew that.
I honestly do it as low as can go, because if you think about in real life, like it might look slow, but if you want to make stuff like it is in real life, they're
pretty slow.
Yeah, they're pretty slow, and so I just think that would take that not quite as fast. But overall, I mean, the scenery around this is fantastic. I mean, you really feel like you're secluded in this area kind of surrounding this castle. So that's a great job.
Yeah, good job. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. And that was, anytime we give advice on something, it's not saying something's not good, because it is really good. So now, oops, sorry, I need to go back to this camera. There we go. So Titania is to the left. We already did Medieval Mayhem. So now we got the tower jump. Well, let's go left and then we'll go right.
Okay.
Because we got another coaster over here, and it looks big. Right up my alley.
Definitely up your alley.
That one's more Jasmine's alley, right?
What?
The first coaster we rode.
I don't know. It had a lot of hills, though, on it. That might be too scary for me.
Yeah, I like this little elevated area. This is nice. I would just put up a little railing. Like they've got the ornate
or a fence.
Fencing. Yeah, like that. Like this would be a perfect time, I feel like, for the... where's that fence at?
Props.
Yeah. The ornate one. You could do this one. You could also... I'm trying to think of the particular one I was thinking of. I was thinking of one like this too, you know? Or you could put that one down. I don't know what's going on right now.
What are you doing?
Oh, it's
Oh.
there we go.
Yeah,
I don't know
what's
what's going on.
happening,
Something's going
but-
on with the controller right now. So, but yeah, just adding a little. That was weird. I think it's because I was in this different camera mode where it
Yeah.
wasn't moving how it normally does. So yeah, I'll just put a little fence there. But this is great. I love this little elevated seating.
Yeah, that's
Looks
cute.
fantastic. For sure.
Mhm.
So now looks like
Let's see, what's this?
Fairytown. So this is the train again.
Oh, okay.
So that's to hop back on the train.
Okay, well go, I think, okay, go this way, and then I think that'll like take you to the blue one.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like there's the exit to the train. I like how you've done these fences kind of along the way a lot. And I think that's well done. So now as we come around here, there's a lot of this Fairytale props, which is good. Get this little bridge.
Enchanted Forest.
Ooh.
Oh, that'll be nice. We gotta go through there.
So we got 3 things to look at here. We'll start left to right again, shall
Okay.
we? Now, the only thing I'd suggest here is I would suggest moving this off of, like I know you've kind of got that below. I would move this back just a tad bit because you see how all these people are waiting in line here, and then you got people walking through, so it kind of makes it congested. Whereas if you move it off the path just a little bit, there's kind of
yeah, I
that
see what you're saying.
little indentation for.
Yeah, it's
that.
for the line.
Yeah, for sure. So Enchanted Forest. Oh, I guess that was. So, is this just like a little walkthrough?
Yeah, looks like it.
Let me get this
Got a
hut off
little-
the screen.
A little wishing tree or whatever this little tree is called.
Yeah, and you can see that castle kind of just in the background, which is nice.
This might be good to do at night because it has little lights.
That's a fantastic idea. Why didn't I think of that? There we go.
Oh yeah, this is cute.
Yeah, good call.
So there's a little dragon.
Uh-oh.
Okay, she made a viewpoint so people can go over here.
View the dragon. What's the name of the dragon in Shrek? Because that just makes me think of Shrek. I'm a donkey, Shrek.
Yeah, I don't think the dragon has a name.
Yeah, this is really nice. I was expecting this to be a ride, but this is really pretty. And kind of a cool idea to have it just be something different. And this is kind of like when you did your
Yeah, my vineyard.
vineyard thing. But at least putting the viewpoint has some people kind of coming out,
Yeah.
walking through it.
Oh, that's cute. It's like he's shooting into that thing.
Oh, yeah. A little archery. Okay, so that was really cool. Now, it looks like, real quick, before we do anything else, let's see how stuff is lit up at night. Because I don't want to... Okay, so everything looks lit up pretty well. Because I don't want to accidentally not look at something at night when something was supposed to be looked at night. So it looks like to me that Enchanted Forest is probably the one area that should be looked at night more than anything else. If you come over here... I don't know.
Oh, this is the castle.
Yeah, it's the castle. It just looks like it doesn't really lead anywhere. It's just, you got the okay, well, I can't even think of that, what those are called. Those lights, but I know they're not lights. Fire...
The torch.
Torches. There we go. Good gosh, I can't talk today. But kind of leading up there. So it looks nice. Now let's go back to daytime, and let's go ride this coaster. Since it is called Planet Coaster. Okay, we've already hit this area.
Yeah, there we go.
Forest Runner.
I like that there's interaction with the cube.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Oh, that's purposefully broken. Like the wall. I was wondering, I was like, did the piece just go missing? Yeah, it's supposed to be like purposeful that stuff's been broken and kind of aged. And you got a little waterfall. You love your waterfalls.
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. Yeah, well done. Alright. So now, let's pause that so we can get on that train.
So it seems to me like this station is not done just because she wants it to be like the forest is overtaken the build like the station.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
That's why there's stuff that's like some holes are in the walls and stuff, and there's ivy, and so that's a cool idea.
Yeah, that's a. I didn't realize that until you mentioned it because I didn't realize these other pieces sitting here. Like I know we saw that below, but I think that's a really cool touch that
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't really pick up on. So let's go ahead and ride this coaster.
What kind of coaster is this?
This is a. That's a good question. I forget the name. That's the launch vector.
Oh, launch coaster.
Well, but this one you don't have to launch it. You can take it up the chain or launch it. I believe I'm correct in saying that. So track length. So it's an average length coaster. Max speed 74 miles per hour. Biggest drop. So this is about 180-ish feet. Yep. So G's are a little bit high, but that's fine. I mean, but everything looks good. So is this inversions? 3 inversions. All right. Let's ride this one front bumper. What was the name of this one again?
Forest Runner.
Forest Runner. Okay. I like it. Inching up the chain. I like that double corkscrew. Double corkscrew there. All right. So, what are your thoughts?
I like it. I think maybe the only thing I would say is that I feel like it was, or maybe this is just me, but I feel like it was a little high for it to be called Forest Runner. Is that just me? I don't know. I just feel like I was expecting a lot more trees and stuff on it.
Yeah, and so one thing, I think it's a really good ride. I love this double corkscrew. I think there's a little bit of smoothing that needs to happen. I mean, now granted, my first few coasters I made in this game I wasn't understanding the smoothing component of it. And one thing that happens sometimes is when you're using pre-made pieces and you end up editing part of it, it leaves kind of this little bump in the track because you can't smooth out a pre-made piece with a piece that you place. But the only thing I'd say too is I like the height on this ride. I agree with you though. If it's called Forest Runner, it probably should be a little bit lower. But I think you should start leveling it out a little bit sooner. So instead of it going straight down for so long, and about right here, start leveling it out so it's not so drastic at the end. Because I think this is probably where the high vertical G-forces come from, is this first drop. Because it doesn't have enough time kind of leveling it out. And so, which I like that little, I do like that little mini hill right there. But that'd be my suggestion on creating this ride, because you want to give it enough time to kind of flatten out to where the G-forces aren't too high, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with kind of having it almost straight down, but most coasters that are like this are only like this for a fraction of the track, and then they start smoothing or start leveling out, and they level out gradually instead of it being just kind of like drastic at the end. But I think that's my favorite coaster of the two, just because I like height. I think it's awesome. I think it's got good speed. This double corkscrew was fantastic. Really, really well done. So, yeah, now let's, looks like we've got another coaster over here somewhere. So if we go back this way where we came from.
Witch's Keep. Is that what it's called? Witch's Keep?
Yeah, Witch's Keep. So now you got the train track, you got the hazard strip right there.
There's like mist going on over here.
Yeah, this is cool. This is like a kind of spooky. I wonder if this place looks good at night.
Oh, she's got the little witch.
Alright, yeah, let's look at this one at night. I feel like this is supposed to be like a creepy, spooky area.
Yeah.
And so.
Oh, I like the lighting, the colors.
So let's go ahead and ride this coaster.
So it looks like this is a wooden one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like a traditional wooden coaster. And I remember there's one of them that she was saying Maddie helped her out with the coaster and stuff. I can't remember if it was this one or the Gerschlauer that we're going to ride after this. But I think she's doing a really good job on this, especially, you know,
first sandbox.
First sandbox and stuff. Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
This is definitely way better than any my probably my first few sandboxes.
Yeah. I mean, it just takes time in this game. This game has a massive learning curve, in my opinion. Especially, it's because a lot of people who play this, I'm sure, aren't necessarily coaster enthusiasts, So there's a big kind of learning curve with a lot of things. So max speed 53 miles per hour. Yeah, so this is not a large coaster by any stretch of the imagination, but it looks like it's the job done. I think the lateral G's, like vertical G's are fine on this one. Lateral's really high, so it's probably one point where it just turned too sharply, would be my guess, without enough banking. But let's go ahead. Do you want to ride seat view or bumper view on this one?
I like to do the bumper view.
Yeah, I do too. Alright, that was my favorite one in the park. What do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I think that might be my favorite also.
I'm trying to think where let's look at the stats, because I don't know where those high lateral G's come from. Maybe that turn at the end. Let's look at the heat maps. So this is weird sometimes, because if you look here, the lateral G's it said was 5. But there's nowhere that has G's even. So I don't know where it got those high lateral G's from. So I thought, and coaster's good. Sometimes the stats don't tell the full story, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, oh, that's cool. The coloring of the forge over there. I think that's what that one's called.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so now it looks like we got one more area in the park to kind of explore, and the lighting looks pretty good over there too. So let's just continue going at nighttime. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like this mist that kind of put in to kind of make it have like this eerie vibe. Yeah, so it's like a kid ride. Yeah. Well, I say kid ride, but who knows what that ride does. So it looks like this is probably for the coaster, would be my guess. Yep. So once again, one thing that I do like that she's done is, like, when you first look at it, there's not necessarily like a station that's like covering the whole thing, but she's done a good job of doing kind of like making it almost like a scene out of a movie, right?
Yeah.
So you've got these like witches that are trying to cast a spell and all this different stuff. You got the stairs. So just because it doesn't have necessarily a station, I mean, this is still really, really well done. So let's go ahead and ride this coaster. It's an infinite coaster. Let's look at the stats. Oh, what's going on there?
I don't know.
Oh, that was a different train. So let's look at so it's all green, which is great. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. And max speed, biggest drop. So you got a couple pretty good sized coasters, and the G's look really good on this one. 4 inversions. So let's ride the coaster. And I forgot to look at the name of it. Did you catch the name?
No, I didn't.
Okay, we'll look at that at the end. right, thoughts?
Yeah, so I like it. So I don't know if you noticed this, but on this part here, she like made the tracks collide, I guess. So it almost looks like
Yeah.
like what a railroad would do.
Right. So I wonder what's the reasoning for that. Like obviously it's intentional, so I'm guessing
Yeah.
there's probably something with the story trying to do that. Um, because from a from a realism standpoint, that you can't do that in real life, obviously. But so I would just love to know, Chrissy, what like is that just part of like the like what was the reasoning for doing that on this coaster? 'Cause I haven't really seen people do that too much unless they're doing like a transfer track or something. Okay, yeah, I guess this one doesn't have a technical name, but shouldn't it be named something after the witch?
Yeah.
The evil witch of the West. I don't know.
Yeah, but it was cute. I liked it. I do think I liked the wooden one the best.
Same.
Out of the ones in here, but I think this is definitely a really good job for her first sandbox. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And so then this last area is kind of just another like medieval town, basically. Medieval market.
Is really cute.
It says the market's here today only. And so, I mean, good job kind of covering up the pathing and stuff with floor ceiling tiles and yeah, so really.
Does she have another train station right there? In the back? See where these people are?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, so kind of while we give our final thoughts, instead of actually riding on the train, let's just kind of go around the park on the train track so we can kind of see the views. And so what are your final thoughts or takeaways of this park?
I think it's really good. I haven't seen too many of this fantasy type parks, so this is definitely a good job, and I think she did a really good job with all the buildings and her rides as well.
Yeah, I agree. Especially, I look at this compared to my first park, and this is way better.
Yeah, yeah.
You're already doing a lot of the tricks that I didn't know how to do at first, and obviously having a husband who's played for a while helps too with kind of giving you advice on some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like look at this pond,
pretty.
and yeah, I mean, like there's no way I would have even thought to do all of that on my first sandbox.
Yeah.
So.
And by the way, guys, Maddie did a great tutorial the other day about how to kind of spruce up your little pond areas like this by putting rocks on the side and some bushes and hiding some rocks just below the water. So I recommend going and checking that out because it's one of the best tutorials I've seen. So it's really good, and obviously that's what Chrissy did here. And you've got a little splash right there, kind of almost like the waterfall splash, right? But kind of looking like there's something in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I forget what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something else. But yeah, I think this is a really good park, and I think you did a great job because it is very tough to take like one theme and theme the entire park around that.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're kind of constantly building the same style buildings and stuff, but you had enough variation to it that made it not seem like it was all the exact same, And so I commend you on that. That's a great job. Like right here, you've got two buildings. All three of these buildings have the same sandstone, but this one's got a different color to it than this one. So it makes it different. And
I definitely like the white.
Yeah, I like the white more too, but I do like this sandstone color as well more than just the traditional gray. But yeah, but you're right. That does almost look like the haunted house type brick. So yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. Go ahead.
Sorry, it looked like she had something on this White Castle, or like, I guess it's just tables.
Oh yeah, those are like animatronics making it look like there's a restaurant, and you've got your heart.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, yeah. So it's a restaurant. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, you're using the people from the studios pack to make it look like they're sitting up here and eating.
Yeah.
Really well done.
Yeah, that's cute.
And you're using the circles from the art pieces to make it look like the placemats. And so what a great view. I mean, look at that. You get a look at the castle. Just fantastic. So is there anything else that you
That's
you
it.
noticed? Alright guys, well we always appreciate the support and watching our videos, so make sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you want to stay up to date to more content that we release here at M&J Games, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
And don't forget to check out Chrissy's YouTube channel. I think her name is Chrissy P.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like I said before, the link will be in the description below. So make sure to click on that link and go check it out and subscribe, because she's just getting started and she's doing a great job already. So I can't wait to see more content that she releases.